Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to apologise for the splint that's still on the finger on my right hand. It's going to be there for a while, I'm afraid. Now, do you know, I'm sure I did a review on this watch, but I just looked through my videos and it appears I haven't, or perhaps I did and maybe I deleted it in error. Now, this is a watch I absolutely adore, and one of the few I haven't considered flipping at some point. Prior to buying this about 5 months ago, I'd owned 3 Victorinox watches, but they all had quartz movements and they were all quite large. However, I knew what great quality watches they were. There are a few reasons why I particularly like this watch, and we're going to see what they are soon. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Victorinox Infantry. Let's have a look at the dimensions, shall we? Well, the case is 40mm, the lug width is 23mm, the depth is 11mm, and the lug to lug 45mm. On a strap it comes in at about 78 grams. Now, quite often I tell you that a watch I'm reviewing wears larger than the dimensions read. This one actually wears smaller. Now, I believe that's because of the depth and the large lug width. There we are, quite generic but quite premium packaging, including an instruction manual and a 3-year warranty card. And for those of you interested, this is my watch of the day. It's the Zelos Horizon 39. It's a new acquisition and I shall be making a video of it soon. The crown is signed, but it's small at 5mm. It's well knurled, but not the easiest in the world to use. It's probably because of its shallow depth. Now, the water resistance on this watch is 100 metres, which is about the norm for a watch of this type. Inside it is an ETA 2824-2. It's a 4Hz high beat Swiss movement. It hacks, it hand winds, it's got a power reserve of 38 hours, and it's known for its reliability and its accuracy. In fact, there are many clones of this movement, it's so good. And the top grade versions are used in watches costing thousands of pounds. Now, just a word to the wise though, these movements don't particularly like hand winding, so I'd suggest you just give it a couple of turns and then a shake and put it on your wrist. Now let's see how it's performing on the time grapher. Well, I can't see anybody moaning about that. Plus 3 seconds a day, high amplitude, 0 beat error, absolutely excellent. The watch has got a flat sapphire crystal that sits slightly above the bezel. Now, if it's got any anti-reflective coating, I don't think there's much of it. As you would expect, the case is well finished. It's very well shaped, and once it's on the wrist it leaves absolutely no gaps. Now, Victorinox decided to fully polish this case. I always find that strange on a utility watch. That said, it does look gorgeous. Now, it's got a screw down brushed exhibition back and it shows off its customised rotor. And written around the outside is some basic information. The dial is simple and it's very easy to read at a glance. At the 12 is the Victorinox emblem and large painted indices at each hour apart from the 3 where there's an unframed date window. Under the emblem it reads Victorinox Swiss Army, and above the 6 it simply reads automatic. Underneath each of the indices are 24-hour markers, but these are done in black and they're very difficult to see. Now, there's something incredibly classy about this dial, I just can't put my finger on it. Now, the painted indices and the pencil hands are full of C3 Lume. Now, this lasts quite well. Let's have a look at it. This is the strap that came with the watch. It's a brown premium leather. It's a little bit stiff to start with, but I'm sure it'll break in. What I particularly like is this little flap that protects the buckle against your wrist. Very nice. Now, it's a 23mm strap and they are in short supply, I know that, but it does look nice against the size of the dial. Well, I believe it does anyway. Now, this is the watch with that strap. Now, I happen to believe that the aftermarket strap that I put on it does look nicer. Now, this is a nylon strap, but it does have a leather backing. Now, I got this, well, it was cheap as chips from AliExpress. Now, if you're prepared to wait for the straps to arrive, and if you live in the UK that does take a month, you do save yourself quite a lot of money. Price and value for money. Well, first of all, I should point out that there are several options in the Infantry range, including quartz models. Now, I just had a look on the internet and the full retail price of this particular model is £595, although I'm sure you could pick one up cheaper if you had a look around. I accept this isn't cheap, but this is a well-made Swiss watch with a very good Swiss movement inside it. I managed to pick this particular one up on an auction for £245, and to be honest, it's in pretty mint condition. Now, whether or not you think it's value for money, you're going to have to make up your own mind. There were no QC issues when the watch arrived, but like I said, I wasn't the original owner. This is a great watch, but like any watch, it isn't perfect, well in my opinion anyway. My biggest complaint is the crown. I don't care that it doesn't screw down, but it really needs to be larger for ease of use. Making the 24-hour markers black against a black background, well that's a waste of time. And finally, I would have brushed at least some of that case. You may have expected me to moan about the odd lug width, but as I believe it suits the watch so well, I'm not going to. As far as lights are concerned, this watch has got a real feeling of quality, and it's just so easy to read at a glance. Where Victorinox get 10 out of 10 is the actual fit. I always believe a manufacturer's got it right when a watch actually looks smaller than the dimensions indicate. My Seiko Alpinist and my second hour Mandala do exactly the same thing. Last but not least, that incredibly accurate ETA movement that lives inside it. In summary, if you're looking for a good quality field watch and you want something a little bit different to the run-of-the-mill Hamilton or Seiko, I'd strongly recommend you consider one of these. Now, I wear my watches on a rota basis, and I always look forward to this one coming round, well at least for the time being anyway. That brings me to the end of this review. If you've enjoyed it, please click on the like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already, leave your comments below, and enjoy the rest of your day.